Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It is nice to connect with you all in this warm evening with Mr. Velu. Mr. Velu, good evening. Hope you're doing well.
Good evening, Arun. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. The title of the show is, why money should work for you. So that is the title of the show. So, Velu, before I get into the title, I'm going to ask you a question, right? Why Mr. Velu is answering this question? What made you to get qualified in all these areas and why you are here? Can you please give a brief introduction about you?
Why me, right? And I'm a person who came here in 1998 on a green card visa, a family sponsored visa, and struggled to get a $7 job. And I did not have money to go back because I only had $1,000 between my wife and I. I needed $2,000 to go back to buy the flight ticket, and somehow I survived. And now, making the money work, I am able to spend a lot of quality time for myself and for my family and live the life to the fullest. And so, since I'm leading myself as an example in this particular area of how the money should work for me to create a horizontal income that is equivalent to the amount of income I used to create in IBM, and much more than that. Now I think I'm eligible as a person who has experience to be able to give them some tips from my experience for them also to follow.
Awesome, Mr. Velu. I think you have completed a kind of certification and you got all the legal permits to speak about this subject. Am I right?
Exactly. First of all, first license I got was a realtor license, and then I have become a broker. I have a broker license, and I have a mortgage loan officer license, and I also have the life insurance agency license, and I'm a life coach, certified life coach, and I'm also a certified financial services planner.
I wanted to really, talk about one important thing, right? So I was always wondering why this financial planning is not in our school curriculum or in college curriculum. Why it is not taught. I checked with few people, and it is not taught. So, but the financial managing is very critical for anyone to be very successful in their life or in entrepreneurship or business career, anything, they want to have a financial knowledge, how to manage it. Correct. So how you decided to get expertise in this area? What is the need? Did you find any data to prove that people are lagging in this? So what made you to get yourself expert in this subject?
Okay, quite a few parts to this question. So basically, why people don't do financial planning and all that is mainly, first of all, we used to focus on the job. Once we get a job, very comfortable, I can buy a car, I have $100,000, I feel very comfortable, then I'm settled. But many times I don't really worry, and I think that it is going to keep on coming. But when COVID comes, or when the visa is rejected, or when my skill is no longer valid, I have to retool my skill, then the fear sets in. That is the time, oh, you're too late. You should have probably thought about it earlier, right? So 50 years ago, if you have a government job, if you retire in a government job, your entire life is taken care of. You're going to get a pension. But today, that is not the case, right? So the world is continuously changing. Your requirements are continuously changing. Your expectancy of life expectancy is going up. So because of all these things, you need to plan, and you need to be able to find out how much money you will need. Say, supposing if you're going to live until 90, and I'm at 60 years old, 30 more years, okay? Say, supposing if I need about $10,000 to live for myself, and about another $5,000 for my travel or medical or whatever it is, and every 20 years that number is doubling. Let's say $15,000 becomes $30,000. So let's put it at say $25,000 per month as an average for 30 years. What do you
Mhm.
think is the total number do you need? So for per year, it is about $300,000, and 10 years, it is about $3 million. And if I'm going to live for 30 years, what is that? It's about $9 million,
$9 million.
right? So there is no way I'm going to earn the $9 million, right? So it is better for me to invest properly so that I generate ten to $15,000 of income today
Mhm.
that keeps growing along with the inflation. So when the inflation goes up, my income also goes up. Then I'm kind of settled for life. Don't you think?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So what I'm hearing from you is, I'm hearing a positive rhythm. For example, I'm making $100 per hour. Just I'm throwing some numbers. So if I do the financial correctly, this $100 income could be $200 or could be $300 when I put all the future earnings. If I plan my finance correctly, am I right, sir?
Say, supposing if, see, you have been earning for 5 years, let's say 5 years, and you have saved $20,000 a year. So you have $100,000 today. Okay. And if you properly invest that money, that gets you about 15 to 20% average return, right?
Mhm.
Let's say for easy math, and also I believe that we can make it happen 20% a year. 5 years, your money is able to double, let's say, for example. So the $100,000 can become $200,000 in 5 years' time. Say, supposing if you are so fearful, and if you put the money in bank and or in 401k where it is not growing properly, you pump in too much of money, and the $100,000 has become only $110,000 in 10 years' time,
Mhm.
probably whatever you can buy for $100,000 today probably is going to cost you 200,000, or maybe more. So there is a huge inflation, right? So first of all, you need to catch up with the inflation and then make much more than that for you to be able to live the best life. So that is where you need to make your money work. uh, Two reasons: one is to catch up with the inflation, and second one is to produce much more for you to live your life from the income produced from your savings.
Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome. So I think of that you have presented the data in my theory, like, if you invest well, the money what you make is the value is more. So that being said, after this pandemic, you see a great potential in investing right now as we speak, right? So why you see this pandemic as a great opportunity?
Um, I have been going to Tony Robbins for a very long time. I would like to show my gratitude and appreciation for what he has taught me, and my life has changed for the better because of him. One of the things what I have learned is every problem has an opportunity. Every problem, even if it was tsunami or it was anything, the Chennai floods showed all the people, the best people were brought to light during that time, right? And they were all working to take care of the people around. So like that, this pandemic, it has got a lot of good things which are happening. We are all able to have a good family time, and we are also, a lot of people are thriving in their business. Especially, I heard that your Talam has got 35,000. How many followers right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, close to 35,000.
35,000, right? So you started it during COVID, right?
During
So,
pandemic.
so it is good for you, and all the 35,000 people are also benefiting, correct? So, like,
Absolutely.
I was looking for an opportunity. This COVID should present some opportunity. What is that? What is that? What is that? And then finally, I figured it out that online sales is going up. So there is the logistics is actually doubling, tripling, right? So the number of trucks are increasing, and there is not much industrial warehouse enough to be able to give them the parking space or something like that. So the industrial warehouse cannot be built anywhere you want. It has to have zoning, right? So the industrial warehouse, even if you double the rent right now, people are willing to pay because they are not able to find the
Demand.
proper. Yeah, the demand is pretty high,
Mhm.
300%. So now we have figured it out that if you go into the industrial warehouse, in the past performance of my partner and I, we are able to see that it has already grown to 3x in 5 years. You know what a 3x is? 300% return, right?
Yes.
So the $100,000 of investment in 5 years, it is valued at $380,000 after they are distributing 10 to 15% cash on cash distribution every year, right? So I'm using a lot of terms which you may be familiar or not, but we will get to it.
Yeah, definitely. So just to add your story, because I'm coming from an entrepreneur background. I own several businesses, so I would like to throw a few additional points for this particular subject, right? So recently, I heard that the biking industry is picking like a crazy. They are unable to meet the demand because, particularly in New York and California, people are now seeing a space in the driveway for them to bike, which they never used to feel safe because of number of cars. Nowadays, number of cars is used very less because people are staying at home. So that road infrastructure is used for a biking. So biking industry is skyrocketing. And then another industry is, pet industry. People are staying at home, they want pet like crazy. So all the breeders are in a very high demand. As soon as they have a good quality breed of pets, it's been sold already. So every lifestyle changes, there is an opportunity. I think you nailed it very clearly. This pandemic, online sales have increased the demand of warehouse. So how long do you see this opportunity is going to be for next few years, or do you have any insights on that?
So we believe in one cycle of about 3 to 4 years is one cycle. We may go
Mhm.
for 2 cycles, but within that we may make profits 3 times, right? So
Yeah.
that is the master plan what we have. Usually in multifamily, we increase the rent one time and then we exit in 5 years and then make a profit and close the LLC.
Mhm. Mhm.
But here, when you put the $50,000 and we increase the rent, and then we have plans of refinancing and distributing some capital back to them,
Mhm.
and then finally we have a plan to like make it as a $500 million property and then sell it to REIT at a very high profit and all that. So basically, you have an exit every 4 years. So which means you have to be invested at least for about 4 to 5 years. It is a little bit of a long-term investment,
Mhm.
and you cannot just take the money out as and when you need, like
Got
putting
it.
it in a bank. But otherwise, you will be able to get yearly dividends, right? Paid quarterly and all that. So that is so. As you rightly said, even though we talk about 3x, 4x, and all that, we don't promise anything. Conservatively, we say that 20 to 25% return and things like that. Again, it is all past performance is not a guarantee for future, right? So
Correct, correct. Absolutely, absolutely. So I know that people will be asking question, how can they schedule a meeting with you? I think, we spoke about this. I prepared this, the banner for you, for our audience. You can schedule a meeting with Velu at meetwithvelu.com. And, he promised us to give 30 minutes of his time for you without any obligations. He can look into your financials because he's a qualified financial advisor as well, and he's a successful real estate entrepreneur. So you can put all these experts into your records, and he can guide you or to make you an informed decision. So thank you so much for that 30 minutes offer for our community, Mr. Velu.